Hey Timeless Beauty, today we are going to be talking about fit. Not getting fit, even though you should, even during this quarantine time, but when it comes to your outfits, how should your outfits fit? So I'll be going over about 10 basic things to keep into consideration when it comes to how your clothes fit. Because sometimes we could look at something on the rack and it looks really cute, and it may kind of look cute on us, but we don't get the full effect of it because the fit is kind of off and not right. Basic rules to consider when we're looking at the fit of our clothes, and what to consider also, not only with the stuff in our wardrobe, but when we go out and buy things. To the point where you become such an expert that you could just look at something and know that the fit isn't going to be right. You should still try it on if you can, but you're able to recognize it a lot better. All right, so let's get started. So rule number 1. If we are looking at jackets or even blazers, if you can't give somebody a nice big hug in it, probably the fit is off. Or if it feels like you're drowning in it, then unless if it's something that's like, supposed to fit oversized, like right now I have a kimono on, so it's kind of supposed to be loose fitting, but it shouldn't look so baggy on me unless that's the type of style that you like. Generally, again, if you can't give somebody a hug in it, then the fit is probably off. You also want to make sure if you're able to put your arms above your head or at your shoulders, and make sure that the sleeves aren't too long. Wearing a watch, you should be able to see a little part of your watch if you like move your arm around. And again, that's all depending upon if it's like a 3/4 length sleeve jacket or blazer. So those are just some things to consider when it comes to the fit of our jackets or blazers. Okay, so now we're going to be looking at button-down shirts. So button-down shirts can be sometimes a nightmare because a lot of times you'll get puckering or gapping. So this is a shirt, for example, that I used to wear, but I'm actually going to be giving it away because, I gained some weight, but that's okay. The puckering and gapping on this shirt is really bad, so it came to the point where I could only really wear it open. But generally, if you turn to the side, especially if you could see your undershirt or your bra, then this is probably not the thing that you do want to get. The other thing is that if you always have a problem with gapping with button-down shirts, one of the things that you can do if you're a little bit handy with a thread and needle, you can actually sew some of those buttons shut permanently, and then your button-up will eventually become a pullover. So what you'll do is you'll button the shirt, and then you'll sew it right around here, which is right outside of the button area, and you'll do this on the inside. And just make sure that you're able to, of course, put it over your head when you do that. And I normally do it like at the 2nd or 3rd button, or even sometimes in between there. Pretty much wherever you'll see that gapping, that's the part that you want to make sure that you get so that you don't have a gapping issue. The next thing that we're going to look at are pants or bottoms. Or in this case, let's talk about shorts first, okay? If your shorts are riding up, not a good fit. Again, not to knock anybody's own style aesthetic, but you don't want to have something where you're constantly going to look like you're pulling out a wedgie. So if they're riding up, or if they're falling down, wear a belt. But you want to make sure that you have something that fits your size. So the general rule when it comes to whether they're shorts or even pants is if you can fit 2 fingers in the waist part of your pants, then you're good to go. It's just to kind of say, okay, I got a little wiggle room in case if I'm bloated, or even if I lose a little bit of weight, or whatever the case may be. You want to make sure that you have some room in between your skin and the waist of the pant. So that way they actually don't feel like, especially if you're sitting down, they don't feel like they're kind of like squeezing you up or you're suffocating. My general rule is whenever I go and try on clothes in the dressing room, I normally sit down if there's a stool there, or I just pretend to sit like I'm doing a squat, and to see if it feels like the pants are gonna rip, or if I feel like my circulation is being cut off in my midsection. Also, if you see too much puckering in the front, or if it seems too baggy, then again, the fit is probably going to be off. Especially where you want to look is right here in the inseam. If it looks too big or if it looks too tight. Sometimes when it comes to pockets, You don't want the pocket to be sticking out. Unfortunately, with some pants, unless you find like a really good brand that just works for your body type, the pockets will always look a little bit funny or a little bit off, but that's just a general rule when it comes to shorts or pants. The next thing that I wanted to look at is if you have to, unfortunately ladies, sometimes we gotta suck in our stomach because especially for taking a picture, but if you always have to suck it in, or you feel like you can't breathe, then the fit is most likely off. So I gave the example of this dress. This dress is from J. Crew. It's a bit old, not too old, but because again of weight fluctuations and whatnot, I decided to give it away. I'm going to give it away. One of the things with this dress is with my midsection right now, especially after having a baby, that's all you see with this dress. This dress is very like, it's almost like a pencil dress. It's really nice for work or for church. But you also want to make sure that it's not accentuating the parts that you don't want to accentuate. So if you aren't really too comfortable about how your stomach looks, then the fit is probably not all that great. Also, I'm on the more bustier side, so this also didn't work for me too much because it kind of squeezed in my chest to make it seem like I was suffocating, even if it did actually feel comfortable. So that's just a general rule to think about when it comes to dresses and when it comes to the way things look, if it's too tight or even too loose on your body. So another general rule of thumb when it comes to your shirts, depending again on your style or however you want to wear something, if you always feel like you have to pull down your shirt, like you're doing something, you just got up, you're just sitting down, or if something is riding up all the time and it's just not staying down, it can't stay tucked in, then again the fit is off. You want to make sure that you have something, especially when it comes to t-shirts, you want to make sure that it goes past your belt line. So that way, even if it does ride up a little bit, you're not going to see your back or your front section, your midsection. Also, that the bust and the arms are comfortable so that you can move around or hug people or say hi or, do a high five or anything else. You want to make sure that it's not too tight. So continuing on with pants, when it comes to pants, you don't want them to be too long or too short, depending again upon the style of the pant. If the pant is meant to be short, then of course that's okay. But if you're wearing something like work pants similar to what I just shown with these pants are kind of tapered, so it's wide at the top and then it tapers down at the bottom that you can see there. For my size, because I'm petite, I'm only 5'2", that really works well for me because it doesn't make me look too short and it doesn't, it kind of accentuates the right parts of me. And it really works for work when I go out to work. So you want to make sure that it's not too long that it's dragging on the floor or that you're going to trip, but also not too short to where you are sitting down and you see like your whole entire calf. I also want to talk about being honest with your body type because again, that has to do a lot with fit. So I put this shirt out because I really loved it. I got this from Anthropologie. And it's not that it's not a nice shirt. My issue with it is that it made me look pregnant all the time. And this would be great if you were pregnant, if I was pregnant, because it has a lot of room here. And sometimes if you're into that whole kind of loose baggy look and you don't mind the way that it looks on you, then that's fine. But I had a lot of compliments on it, but then people also thought I was pregnant in it too. So and the reason for that is because of the way that this shirt is cut. So I generally, even though I did like it originally when I bought it, I realized that it was because I'm again so broad and so busty, it was making me a lot wider on top, which also made my midsection look a lot wider too. So sometimes you have to look at garments and see, okay, that kind of style of garment is not gonna work for me. Or that pant is really not going to work because I'm short, or that pant is not going to work because I'm too tall. So those are the things that you want to take into consideration. And knowing your body type is a big part of fit. Pear-shaped, hourglass shape, apple shape, triangle shape, whatever kind of shape you are, more athletic build, you want to find things that fit your shape. because there are a lot of styles and trends that are out there that you know, we want to try out, and we're really excited and we want to wear them, but sometimes it may not necessarily fit our you know, not only our style aesthetic but also our body type. So that's something that you really want to make sure that you are conscious of.
So some things to consider when it comes to fit. Can I move? Do I always have to fix myself? Can I breathe and be comfortable? Do I know my body shape, which is something that we all should know? And am I proud of my body? And the answers to that should always be yes.
So a couple of last thoughts about fit is that if you can see the underlay or like the slip or the under parts of your garment, and like, you know, while you're wearing it, if you're walking, if you're sitting, then again the fit is off. You want to make sure again that you are conscious of your body type and to dress for your body, not always of, you know, the trends that are in the wind at that point in time in fashion, but you want to make sure that you dress for your body type. That's really, really important when it comes to fit. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you can't try out different trends. You could experiment with them, or a lot of times what I like doing is turning a trend and making it good for me. So those are some of the things that you want to think about when it comes to fit. There's a lot more to cover with fit that I'll do in another video. But again, if you have any questions whatsoever, please comment or DM me. Again, make sure to subscribe at my YouTube channel, to follow me on Instagram at TimelessMe by Mrs. C, and also to like my Facebook my Facebook page at, again, TimelessMe by Mrs. C. And if you have any suggestions on any future videos, please let me know, and hopefully you'll be happy with your body and with whatever fit that you have in the clothes that you already have in your closet, or when it comes to your next shopping trip. All right, bye, Timeless Beauty.